Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love.
Thanks for coming over here. I don't want to wake
Don't
Sugar
wake
Baby.
Sugar Baby. Yeah, exactly.
She's sound asleep, so I can't move.
So we wanted to talk a little bit. This is just going to be a quick video on the new norm. I'm seeing a lot of people talking out there about changes, shifts, all kinds of conspiracy theory and all these crazy things. One thing I can tell you is that Karen and I are not going back to the old normal. We're headed towards a new normal, and I think it's a world where we're focusing on helping others, and hopefully a lot of other people are feeling the same kind of thing. And what were you calling it?
Yeah, so I took some notes this morning, with our epiphany, and wanting less and instead feeling and experiencing more. You and I have already gone through somewhat of a epiphany on stuff and how it gets in the way of what's really important. And we had given away about 98% of our stuff when the house flooded back in 2015 already.
Yeah, get rid of most of our stuff. That's right. Yeah. So we've been on kind of a minimalistic journey, and minimalizing even more gives you a lot more space up here to think about other things and focus on travel and other things that we have got going on. So I think wanting less is really key, and focusing on more of experiencing life, I think, is something that we're going to focus on.
Right. And I think we should clarify wanting less
stuff. That's key.
We can still want, so many good things for this
great
planet.
Love, abundant happiness, outrageous love, all that stuff. You should still, want to live your best life.
Right.
You're absolutely right. When we say wanting less, I'm talking about stuff, crap,
And we
new cars, new iPhones, laptops, whatever,
bigger
clothes,
houses,
shopping, whatever, that kind of stuff.
All of those things, they take up space and time in your life, and actually inhibit you from, really living. And that's what Jeffrey and I are getting closer and closer to, is this, this grand desire to really be in nature, be one with nature, right? And, not hearing the traffic and the trucks, but instead hearing the leaves falling from the trees and hitting the snow, or if it's depending on the season. Right. And those are
we still have snow out there now. It's amazing how much snow, but the sun,
we're getting more.
Yeah, the sun is so great. But yeah, to Karen's point, I was sitting out there the other day, and the birds are just so vibrant. But we do have a highway off in the distance. If you guys have ever skied out in Colorado, 70 blows by most of the ski resorts. You can kind of hear it out there. We just have this longing that we want to push out into the woods a little more and spend more time in nature. Spend more time with the animals of this beautiful planet that we're living on. So, we're going to do more of that.
We are, and is it just us, or what do you think about that? I'm sure that a lot of people are feeling confined, being inside or being quarantined, and it's really strange, but Jeffrey and I are actually not having those kind of feelings about being quarantined. We're really enjoying our time together with Sugar Baby. We're doing a lot of learning. We've got some, a whole queue of audibles. We've been watching documentaries, and we've been having the most amazing conversations.
Yeah.
And, even just being right here in our little place, the nature, the sounds of the birds, the view of the clouds, the sun hitting the mountains, the crows. we are right now very obsessed with crows because we've got lots of birds, but these crows are showing up right outside our window, and we're doing a lot of investigating and learning about crows.
Well, they're everywhere. They're like calling out to us. If you saw a video the other day, they just kind of flew overhead, and we were walking today. They're on top of the fire station, and way up at the top,
In a
calling.
nest.
But
Right.
That nest, yeah, that was incredible.
Nest,
yeah.
And then we have a flock. I mean, I don't know if crows go in a flock. We'll have to double check that. That literally hang outside our bedroom, and when we're sitting in the in our main room, they'll look in at us as we're looking out at them. And there's a lot of different theories and superstitions about crows, and we are really focusing on the positive ones.
Yeah, there's negatives and positives. Yeah, I am definitely focusing on the positives. They're here to show us some a great path. But yeah, it's incredible. We would love to hear from you guys. I mean, is it just us? Or are you feeling like things are going to be different on the other side of this thing?
Right.
I think as we talk to a lot of people that are pretty spiritual and some friends, I can tell you that most people I talk to, I think almost 100%, feel like there's some kind of a shift and some things are going to be different. And I'm not talking just about business, because that's the case. A lot of people will be working from home. Everyone's working from home right now.
And a lot of people won't, be working right now.
Right. Today, but hopefully after this, when all the jobs come back,
right, of
course. Because I think things snap back, fairly quickly. I mean, I think there'll be some changes in the economy, but we're not talking about that. We're really talking about our mentality as a human race, as a collective consciousness.
Right.
What are we focused on, in the new world? And I really do think it's about helping others. We say that a lot in our circles. We are really focusing on helping others, and to experience this life even more so, day in and day out, right?
Right, and by sharing, our thoughts and feelings, and we really want everyone to share theirs as well, because, we were talking about it today. Is it just us, or is this quarantine and this time that we're having, is this a gift? And again, I don't want to take away from what's happening out in the world and the tragedies that are going on, but we're not really talking about that right here. We're talking about those of you that are quarantined, and relatively healthy at this point. Are you feeling, cabin fever, or are you feeling a sort of mystical calm about being quarantined, right? Because that's sort of where we are, and it's not what I would have guessed. I don't know what I'd have guessed, but
well, I don't know. We're enjoying I think we're kind of different than a lot of people too. We're trying to kind of push away and get away from the cities and get away from a lot of the noise. But
I think a lot of people after this might feel that way. I don't know. That's sort of what we're reaching out there. What are you thinking about? And are you thinking after the quarantine? Are you thinking that you want to go back to the way things were, back into the routine of if you had a job that you drove to and you still have that job, that you want to, go back to that 9 to 5? Or are you enjoying working from home instead? Are you enjoying being with your family or your roommates, or, if you live alone, are you enjoying being, spending that time with yourself? And if you are alone, to me, that is such a beautiful and beneficial time to really work on, your own self, and, garnering that self-love, so that, when the quarantine's over, you've got this incredible metamorphosis, almost like a butterfly, where you've had all of this time to do a lot of the things that sometimes we say we just don't have time to do, right? Meditate and learn things about yourself, and experience the gift of your own thoughts. right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting time.
Yeah, so I'd just like to hear from other people and see if you guys are on board with that. Are you going back to normal? Are you going to the new normal? What does that new normal look like? We think it's a lot about helping others and also going out and experiencing this life to the fullest. So that's our plan. We want to know yours. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Nest of Copper Mountain.
Thanks, guys.